Hey guys, it's Kalder from Dial for Heroclix. Today I have an awesome team build that I want to share with you guys. I have deemed it the Jefferson Bomb. It's using King Jefferson from the latest Heroclix set, Masters of Time. Let's get into it. The main purpose of this team is utilizing King Jefferson's trait to deal a ton of damage without having to make an attack. So let's go over King Jefferson really quick. His main ability we're going to use is I wasn't prepared for you last time, I'm ready for you now. Power, once per game. If King Jefferson is occupying an opponent's starting area, choose a square on the map for each character in your KO area, deal 3 penetrating damage to an opposing character adjacent to or occupying one or more of the chosen squares. That's the main ability we're using from King Jefferson. So what do we need to do? We need to have friendly characters be KO'd, and we have to get King Jefferson into the opponent's starting area. And here's how we're going to do that. First things first, KOing other figures, we'll be utilizing Despero. Despero has removing pieces from the table. For all characters with this trait, when another character uses telekinesis, after resolutions, deal 1 unavoidable damage to any characters they placed. Now, we can't utilize Despero's telekinesis, but we can recruit a few friends. They're going to come in the form of Madame Xanadu and Perdegaton. Now, they have a ton of helpful abilities that we are absolutely going to be using for this team, like Madame Xanadu's Special Perplex, her probability control, of course, Perdegaton's crazy placement at the beginning of the game, but for the most part, they're just utilized for on-theme TKers that we can use to kill, you guessed it, Timebreakers. Timebreakers are 5-point characters that only have 1 click of life, so they will instantly go to our KO area. We can use other things, we can try to KO bystanders or anything of that nature, but this keeps us on theme, and they allow a lot of utility for our team. So Timebreakers, not going to get crazy into what they do, but they are going to be fodder for this team. Now, the other piece of the puzzle is, of course, getting King Jefferson across the map. How are we going to do that? Well, you guessed it, we're going to be using Flash Raptor right here. Let's read his special ability. I've got you, bro. Hypersonic Speed. When Flash Raptor uses it, after resolutions, choose a friendly character that Flash Raptor moved through that took damage since your last turn, and place them adjacent to Flash Raptor. Flash Raptor has an 11-speed hypersonic, which means not only can he move almost all the way across the map for King Jefferson to get to the starting area utilizing his own sidestep, but also Flash gets to make some attacks. He can potentially do 2 attacks with this Quake is free if he hits with his first one. Now, we have plenty of ways to self-damage King Jefferson, and I'll go over that on the map video showing you how the first 2 turns look and what placement should look like in your starting area. Here's the ideal first and second turn for the King Jefferson Bomb team. First off, 3D printed action tokens by Ken Small, amazing handmade wood tray by Tim Roby. We have lots of different placement and lots of different options we have here, so let me just break it down for you. There are only 3 things that absolutely need to happen on turn 1. Here's what they are. You need to sidestep up these Timebreakers, generating 1 wherever you need to, and then you need to kill 2 of them using the TK from Perdegaton and the TK from Xanadu. I like to kill at least 2 Timebreakers right away. There's no reason not to. That gives us 2 things in the KO area for Jefferson to drop bombs on. Now, there's a few different tactical things you can choose to do here. Those are the only 2 necessary actions. King Jefferson needs to take damage this turn or next turn. So, with Chthon on King Jefferson, you can choose to just move up and down, give him an action token, and then he can take a damage that way. That is one choice. Another thing you can do on this turn is move Captain America up somewhere just so it's scary for your opponent. So that way he is a threat to maybe bait them out closer to you, forward, whatever. Either one is fine. For this turn, we're going to skip moving King Jefferson or anything. We'll move this Timebreaker up, and we're going to go to the second turn. Second turn, no matter how your opponent places, whatever they're going to be, we're just going to keep going with the Jefferson Bomb idea. So, like always, we're going to generate a Timebreaker. If we want to, we can sidestep this one here. We can sidestep this one here. We can TK 1 of them. Ideally, I think 3 is enough for the Jefferson Bomb, but it depends how spread out your opponent's team is. They might be expecting it. Now we have 3 things in the KO area. We can also TK with King Jefferson since we opted not to move up and down with Chthon. If we TK with King Jefferson, he will take a damage from Xanadu. And then Flash can move through him. This will be our third action. Moving through, placing somewhere here. We could ignore the terrain on the map. it doesn't truly matter for this example. But Flash moves here, he makes his attacks, and then King Jefferson can go here, sidestep, power action, drop the bombs. That would be all 4 actions, if that's what we wanted to do. Or the turn before, we can move up and down with King Jefferson. He can take a damage that way, but he will be double tokened once he gets to this side of the map, right? So that's just a few things to worry about. There's so much placement, there's so much TK with this team that I wouldn't totally worry too much about exactly how you do it, but as long as you get the steps of KOing time breakers and making sure Flash can move and make it all the way to the starting area with King Jefferson. So that is how the team fundamentally functions. I've got a link to the HC Units build in the description below, as well as the team build will be on screen here throughout the video. As you saw, we mainly used our main movers and pieces to KO things to get Jefferson across the map so he can then drop the lightning on people. Now, Captain America, Two Gun Kid, these figures are mostly just here to be solid, good attackers. The team can't be a one-trick pony, we do just still need like necessary figures, which is why Cap with Bucky's arm is on here, as well as just having a great attacker like Two Gun Kid. This team naturally also just has 4 uses of probability control, which is kind of crazy, and technically more thanks to King Jefferson's special damage ability. This team has very high stats, this team is full of good attackers that also just deal free damage with King Jefferson. Now, there's a variety of ways to play Flash Raptor, Captain America, King Jefferson, Despero, and all these figures do so much more than what I was specifically using them on the team for. They're great tech pieces, and I absolutely love them. So if you have any other versions of King Jefferson Bomb, or if you play the Jefferson Bomb build, please let me know. I'll have some gameplay coming out in a few days, and actually, Patreon members can see the gameplay early right now on Patreon for one of our exclusive videos. So if you're interested in supporting us and getting early videos like that, consider donating on Patreon. Well guys, that's the Jefferson Bomb. Like I said, let me know what you think, let me know if you play it, and like always, happy trails.